Last year was one of the best years of my life. I married my best friend, we flew to Thailand and had one of the best trips ever. There were so many memories and moments where I thought, man, this is the life that I prayed for. But when I zoomed out and asked myself, did I actually build more freedom for us financially and with our time, with how much control we have over our lives? The honest answer was no. And that really bothered me. So instead of just hoping 2026 would magically be different, I went looking for a better way to think. I picked up a book called Your Next 5 Moves, and I didn't just read it. Guys, I went to war with it. I had a highlighter in hand, notes asking, what kind of life do I actually want? What level of control do I really want over my time, my money, my work? And what is that going to cost me? That book goes deep on what it really takes to become successful, especially as an entrepreneur. But underneath that, it's about clarity and sacrifice. What game are you playing? And what are the next 5 moves you need to make? You see, it's not just your money that's stuck. It's the habits underneath your life, the way you think, the way you work, the way you avoid hard stuff. If you live this year with the same habits as last year, you're more than likely going to be just as broke, just as tired, and just as frustrated with yourself. So in this video, I want to pull out what hit me the hardest, overlay it with my own mistakes, yes, from last year, and help you decide what you're going to do with your life this year. Whether that's leveling up your job, posting online, or finally building that business you keep putting off. We have now, we have today. So let's start with the first habits I had to quit if I was ever going to build a real freedom system. Habit number 1, and honestly the hardest one for me to quit, is premature rewards. Because for a long time I thought my problem was just spending. But that wasn't it. The real issue was this. I was trying to live the lifestyle of the person I hadn't become yet. I wanted the results before I'd done the reps. It's like baking a pound cake, which I love. You mix everything, put it in the oven, the whole house starts smelling amazing, and you get impatient. You open the oven early, pull it out half-baked, and start eating. Guys, first off, this is gross. It's gooey, it's hot, and by doing that, you have ruined what could have been. That's exactly what I was doing with my money. Every time I got a little extra, tax refund, bonus, side money, instead of letting it finish baking into freedom, I'd start celebrating like I already made it. It'd be like a little bit of, I deserve this upgrades, new stuff, nights out, Amazon packages. I was stealing from my future self to feel good today. And in your next 5 moves, there's this constant theme. Get clear on the game you're playing and the price you're willing to pay. And a price has to be paid. And it hit me. If I keep enjoying the wealth before I build it, I will never build it. So in 2026, I'm keeping the oven doors closed. No more half-baked rewards and cakes. And here's what that looks like in real life. If you're on the job path, you don't upgrade your lifestyle every time your income bumps. You pick up a milestone first. When I pass this certification and lock in the promotion, then I upgrade X. Until then, extra money just goes to savings, debt, or investing. If you're posting online, you don't buy the fancy camera or the crazy creator trip after 3 videos. You set a consistency goal. When I've posted 90 days straight, then I reward myself, not before. If you're building a business, profits go to stability and growth first, not lifestyle. You attack debt, you build a cushion, you reinvest in skills and systems, and you delay the flex until the foundation is actually solid. Or just avoid the flex altogether, in my opinion. That's how you stop stealing from your future self. And here's the wild part. The reason this habit is so hard to quit, it isn't just about money. It's about who you believe you are, which leads straight into the next habit we have to quit if we want this year to feel different. Identity shift. See, habit number 2 is the one most people never see. In the book, there's this deeper idea that shook me. You can't out-budget a bad identity. See, I kept saying I wanted freedom, more time with my now wife, options to travel, the ability to walk away from things that don't align with me or people who I can't work with. But month after month, my actions look like someone who just wanted comfort no matter what. Same spending, same scrolling, same I'll start next month. But that's identity drift. It's like trying to follow a GPS while you keep secretly changing the destination. You're never gonna make it. The app keeps recalculating, but you're not actually committed to anywhere, so you just burn gas and time. That's what I was doing, eventually leading to burnout, right? In your next 5 moves, Patrick Bet-David gets you thinking bigger than just success. He talks about getting so clear on who you want to become that you can literally picture what that does for your family, the way they live, the options they have, the way your last name feels to your kids when they say it or when they hear it. It's not just, I want more money. It's who do I have to become so my family never has to relive the struggles I grew up with. That's identity. And if that's fuzzy, your habits will always drift. That book forced me to ask a question I honestly been avoiding. Who am I actually becoming? Not what do I want this year, but no, who do I need to be for those moves to even make sense? So here's the shift. If you're on the job path, your identity this year becomes, I'm the person who adds undeniable value in my space, not I'm trying to get a raise. So now the question isn't, how do I get more money? It's what would a high value person do today? What skill would they build? What problem would they solve? So they're impossible to ignore. If you're posted online, your identity becomes, I'm the person who shows up consistently and serves my audience. Not, I'm trying to go viral, and that's it. So even when views are low, you still publish, you still show up, because that's what someone does when people can rely on their voice. And if you're building a business, your identity becomes, I'm the person who creates real solutions that help people. Not, I'm just trying to make a load of money. So now every decision has to answer, does this actually help someone? Does this build trust? Is this how a real builder behaves? Once that identity is clear, quitting habits like premature rewards stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like alignment. So you're not depriving yourself. You're just finally acting like the future you've already decided to become. And I feel the same way. But here's what I noticed next. Even after I got clearer on who I wanted to become, a husband with time freedom, man my kids could be proud of in the future, someone who can actually provide and be present, I caught myself doing this subtle thing that was killing the very progress. I remember I sit down and tell myself, all right, I'm going to work on YouTube, or I'm going to read this book that I actually know will help me grow, right? Then one day I go all in. Next day, I barely do anything. I look back on the very following week and realize I wasn't really working. I was just tinkering. I was barely scratching the surface of what I said I wanted to build and who I said I wanted to become. Truth is, I was thinking very, very small. I was still asking, what's the least I can do and still feel like I tried? That's what I realized. The problem wasn't just who I believed I was becoming. It was the setting I was living my whole life on. Which brings us to habit number 3 that I'm quitting in 2026, the minimum mindset. Minimum mindset is the agreement you make with yourself. What's the least you can do and still feel like you tried? What's the minimum payment on the debt? What's the minimum effort that you can have at your job and not get fired? What's the minimum videos if you're creating content that you can post? What's the minimum effort in your marriage, in your relationships, so that you're not fighting all the time? It's survival mode. Your survival mode is expensive. In your next 5 moves, Patrick talks about thinking like a grandmaster, not a pawn. Though pawns are important, pawns move 1 square at a time, just trying not to get taken out. Grandmasters are always thinking moves ahead, 5 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead. If I do this now, it opens that later. Minimum mindset keeps you acting like a pawn in a life you say you want to lead. And I saw it in my money. I make the minimum payment and then wonder why my debt never was moved. I'd invest the minimum and be shocked that there was no real growth. I'd then put in the minimum effort and then be mad that my life looked minimum. So this year I'm done asking what's the least I can do. I'm asking what would it look like for me to go on offense? Let me break it down on those 3 paths we've been talking about, okay? So if you're on the job path, minimum mindset sounds like I did my task, I showed up, I'm good. Offense sounds like I'm going to learn one skill this quarter that makes me undeniably more valuable. You don't just clock in and out, you ask, where is my boss stressed? Where do they need me? What problem can I solve that nobody else wants to touch? You see, that's how you justify more money, more options. If you're posted online, minimum mindset is, I'll just post something. Doesn't really matter who's watching, at least the streak stays alive. Come on. But offense sounds like I'm going to post consistently and get 1% better every video. You study your last 5 uploads. You fix one thing at a time. Your hook, your pacing, your thumbnail. You're not just checking the box, you're sharpening the blade. If you're building a business, minimum mindset is, I did some outreach. I posted on social. I hope something hits. Often sounds like I'm going to create an actual plan to get in front of real people who need this. You decide every week, I'm going to talk to X new potential customers, follow up with Y, improve one part of my offer. No more hoping, you're hunting. With money, quitting minimum mindset might look like paying more than the minimum, even if it's just $25 extra. Investing a set percentage instead of what's left over. Giving your hours a job instead of letting your days just happen. Because as long as you're living on the minimum, you're going to keep getting minimum results. And this isn't just about grinding yourself into the ground. It's about refusing to live your whole life at the lowest setting. So once I started quitting that minimum mindset, my brain tried to get sneaky. It was like, okay, cool. We're not doing the bare minimum anymore. So let's just do everything. And I literally mean do everything. And this is where a lot of us get trapped. We go from lazy to loud, but not confused, just busy. And it's like, okay, just because you're doing a lot doesn't mean you're doing a lot, all right? And with that, the next habit we're quitting is confused effort. Random action. Confused effort is when you're sweating, you're working hard, but you're not actually steering. You're clocking in, you're checking boxes, you're posting, you're grinding. But if I stopped you midweek and said, hey, what are you trying to actually build with all of this? You couldn't give me a clean sentence. You're exhausted, but you can't explain your plan. Let me call this out where it hurts, okay? You're applying to 19 different jobs, but you haven't gone deep on one skill that would make you undeniable. You're watching 10 YouTube tutorials on side hustles, but you've never given one of them 90 days of consistent effort. You're posting random videos, finance today, gaming tomorrow, vlog the next, and wonder why no one sticks around. You don't have a consistency problem. You have a clarity problem. You're not failing because you're lazy. You're failing because your effort is scattered. I had to be real with myself on this. I tell my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, babe, I'm working on my YouTube. But what that meant was 10-minute scripting, 15-minute checking analytics, 20 minutes scrolling other creators, and then maybe I would open up a book. Then somehow I would find myself on Instagram and I'm watching somebody else live out what I just said I was gonna do. And it's like, what are you gonna do about that? What are you gonna do with that? That's not a strategy. That's chaos with a laptop, right? No other way to see it. Confused effort feels productive because your day is full, but your life is not moving. And here's the scary part. Confused effort lets you protect your ego. Trust me, I know. Because if you're trying everything, you never have to admit you didn't fully commit to one thing. Guys, I was trying to do a YouTube channel, flipping houses, development, working in IT. You can't do it all. And that's what we're talking about here. You can always say, well, it just didn't work out for me. No, you didn't work a real plan. You didn't create a system. So if a minimum mindset asks, what's the least I can do and still feel like I tried? Confused effort asks, how much can I do so I never have to sit still and admit I didn't have a clear plan? One is lazy, the other is frantic, but both keep you broke and stuck. Like I always do, here's an action step. The 1-sentence plan, okay? Here's how I'm quitting confused effort this year. And you can steal this. I actually want you to, and I hope you win with it, okay? Number 1, write your 1-sentence money plan for the next 12 months. Not a paragraph. You're limited to 1 sentence. Now, here's how it works. For the next 12 months, I am going to path, become the top performer at my job and push for a raise, or post 2 YouTube videos a week and build my online income, or build this 1 service business until it replaces my paycheck. Whatever that is for you, pick 1 main lane. And if you're anything like me, this is gonna be a little difficult. But then we have number 2, block 2 non-negotiable work blocks on that lane every week. For me, that looks like 2 deep work blocks for YouTube. That could be like Monday, Tuesday nights, I'm doing something, Thursday, Friday, I'm doing something different. Camera on, phone tucked away somewhere. There's no research, there's no scrolling thumbnails. I'm just making the next video that fits the plan to grow whoever is willing to watch. And then number 3, if it doesn't serve the sentence, it's extra. And extra is optional until your main thing is stable. Ask yourself right now, am I actually stuck? Or am I just spread too thin to see real progress? If your life looks like motion, but your money and freedom haven't changed in a year, you don't need more hustle. You need to make a decision. And a decision means you have to cut something off. In 2026, we're not wasting effort, and we're not hiding behind being busy. We're building on purpose. And if you're still watching, it's because you're serious about changing your habits this year. Stay connected. We're building this freedom system together, step by step. I'll see you next time. Blessings, guys. Later.